Hey Dan, how's it going today?
It's going alright.
Not too bad?
Yeah. So, a little bit stressed.
Yeah. You know, in previous sessions you kind of mentioned that school's really starting to pick up and it's starting to be a bit of a burden on you.
Yeah. And I feel like I could have prepared for this too, because I kind of saw it coming, but yeah, I just tend to procrastinate on everything.
Yeah, the dreaded procrastination. I feel like most students kind of go through that. But have you noticed it's getting particularly worse the past few weeks?
It's only because I have so many things due now. It's like the end of the semester, and that's when all the assignments are kind of crammed. And like I procrastinated earlier in the semester for other assignments, and it caused me a lot of stress, but not as much as now, because now I just have so many things to do.
Yeah.
But every time I try to like start and do something, I just get this like paralyzed, and I can't start working.
Almost like an anxiety attack kind of thing, where you just get so worked up that you don't even know where to start. It just kind of
it's just it's so overwhelming that just starting takes so much effort, it feels like.
So when these instances happen, what kind of things are you feeling? Like what emotions are you feeling?
Well, before I start an assignment, I just feel like I'm not going to be able to get this done. I feel like there's so much stuff that I don't know if it's like worth the stress of just like starting things early. But on the other hand, I'm going to have to do them eventually, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to cause stress.
Do you ever feel like you're kind of getting caught up in like what might happen? So you're kind of like stuck thinking about the future almost. So like if I don't get this done, this is what it's going to lead to, and
Yeah, definitely.
okay.
Just like if I don't get everything done on time, then I might not pass my classes. Because actually, I'm not doing very well in a couple classes. So if I don't do well in these next assignments, I'm not going to pass.
So do you often find that it's really kind of hard to focus on like the present, like the current situation? You find yourself kind of looking forward or thinking about what's happened in the past or anything like that?
Yeah. Especially now, it's just like all I can think about are these assignments coming up, and it's just so much pressure right now. I can't really think about the moment or what I'm doing right now.
So I think something that would be good to talk about today is the idea of mindfulness. Have you ever heard of mindfulness before? Have any understanding of what it is? Or?
Is it using your mind?
Sort of. So mindfulness is kind of just being aware and focused on the present moment. So the reason I asked about you kind of looking to the future or looking to the past is we often are in a state of mindlessness almost, where we get so caught up on what might happen or what has previously happened that we don't really give any awareness to what's currently happening. So mindfulness kind of allows us to just kind of take a step back, kind of reflect on the current situation and stay in the present moment and how it's affecting you. A big part of that is also to not be judgmental as well. So it's a very non-judgmental way of looking at the present moment. So even though you may have feelings of anxiety or of stress or of beating yourself up because you've procrastinated or something like that, engaging in mindfulness would kind of allow those thoughts to still happen but pass. So you're not dwelling on them and you're allowing yourself to kind of have an unjudgmental view on the present moment. Do you think that's something that may be able to help you in those situations? Or?
That sounds useful. Because when I'm stressed out, I'm always thinking of like the future, and I'm thinking about failing my classes and what's going to happen if I fail them.
And it's really easy to kind of get bogged down by those thoughts as well, because once they happen, that's all you can think about because they are so negative and whatnot. So developing strategies to kind of stay mindful of the present situation, I think would help you or it could potentially help you kind of pull yourself out of those negative thought patterns. So there are various ways to do this, but I think just a really easy, really good way to start is just doing some deep breathing exercises. So if you want, best to kind of ground yourself, like 2 feet on the floor, find a really comfortable position. You can close your eyes if you'd like, if you feel comfortable. If not, don't worry about it. But just taking some really big, deep breaths and just really focusing on your breathing and focusing on your current breath. So if you're ready, we'll take a big breath in for, let's say, for 5 counts. So we'll go.
Should I close my eyes now?
Yeah, sure. All right, so breathe in. And hold it for about 5 seconds. And then breathe out. And breathe in again. And hold it. And breathe out. And we're going to keep doing this for a little bit. But while you're doing it, make sure you're focusing on the breath itself. And if you have any passing thoughts, don't resist them. Let them happen. But as they come, just kind of let them go as well. If you find yourself being distracted, just always try and bring yourself back to the breathing and really focus on how your body's feeling as you're taking these deep breaths. Feel comfortable, just open your eyes. So how was that? It's very quick. It can go longer if you need it, but I thought just, as an introduction, it might be good to just kind of dip your feet in almost.
Yeah.
Did you feel anything? Or?
Near the beginning, I was feeling a little bit more calm, relaxed, but then at the end, I started thinking about my assignments coming up, and just started to stress out again, so that it made it harder.
Okay, so the big thing is to not fight those thoughts. They're gonna happen, but it's just allowing yourself to bring your focus back to your breath and kind of just letting them pass through. And there are other ways to engage in mindfulness. I know you mentioned that you're a big fan of music and you have your own band, and you're actually a pretty musical person.
Yeah, I'm musical.
So something that I find really helps is, I find that deep breathing doesn't really do it for me by itself, because I do have a mind that wanders, and I find it really hard, unless I'm focusing on a specific thing, to kind of stay in that present moment. So I find even just throwing on one of your favorite songs or something like that, and really focusing on a certain instrument or a certain voice or something like that, really allows you to kind of focus your awareness almost. So then those thoughts that come, if you can bring your focus back to that one instrument, that one guitar riff, or that one drum beat or something like that, it kind of lets those thoughts come and pass. And then I find that it personally helps me kind of relax a bit, kind of refocus my energies and keep my awareness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I find it hard. Especially recently, I find it hard to listen to music. I usually just have it on in the background.
Oh, okay.
But actually just focusing on certain songs is not something I'm used to, so maybe that's something worth trying.
Another option is, do you ever go for walks, or do you enjoy nature, or?
Yeah, when it's warm out.
Not so much now. Because other options you could do is just go find a nice place somewhere outside, and kind of, instead of having the music, just use whatever sounds are around you, birds chirping, the wind, even cars. It's a good way to kind of ground yourself to your surroundings as well. So the next time you're sitting down to do an assignment and you're starting to feel that anxiety and feel that kind of overwhelming, do you think this could be something that you might willing to try? Or?
Yeah, I'm willing to try it.
Okay.
I think it might help with my anxiety and stress.
Okay. So what kind of thing would you like to see in the next week? Like what goal would you like to work for our next session?
I guess I just want to be less stressed out.
Okay.
Be more on top of things. Just be more confident that I'm going to pass my classes, I guess.
Okay. So if we said that maybe, for the next week before our next session, you try this out anytime you start feeling anxious. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to find like a quiet room and do all this, but even just engaging in that deep breathing and really focusing on your breath and giving it a real effort. Doing that every time you kind of feel that stress building up in you. Do you think that's something realistic that may help?
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a try.
And then, if you find it doesn't work, there are other options we can go for. We can always try new methods. There's thousands of different mindfulness activities that you can do. Some are a lot more in depth. Some, require a minute. If you're open to it, they can, go upwards to a half hour. I don't know how you feel about meditation, but meditation is also kind of a big part of mindfulness.
Yeah, I've tried meditation before, but
Yeah,
it didn't work.
It's not for everyone. I can definitely see that. But yeah, so maybe we can just try that out.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a try.
Okay, cool. And then, next week when you come in, you can always just kind of tell me how it's been going, and we can either build on that or we can try something new
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, the next time I work on one of my assignments, I'll give that a try. Just try to feel more calm.
Yeah, and even, if it works and you start working on it and you feel the anxiety start to build again, it's okay to just sit, take a break for a few minutes and kind of do that deep breathing as well. Maybe throw a song on, really focus on that. Bring yourself back, and then just try again.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a try.
Is there anything else that's on your mind this week that we can talk about?
Not really.
Just the school?
That's pretty much what's always on my mind.
Yeah, I feel you. It's definitely that time of year, right?
It's that time of year. But I think I can get through it. I just need to work on dealing with stress.
Perfect. All right. Okay, so we've got that worked out, kind of got that goal set. We can look over it again next week and see how things are going. Do you have is it a really heavy week this week? Are there a lot of assignments or?
Yeah, I have 3 assignments due at the end of the week.
Okay.
None of which I've started.
Oh. So in addition to kind of the mindfulness for when you do procrastinate, is maybe, making a plan of how you will stop yourself from procrastinating as well. Do you think that might be something that's helpful that we could discuss?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a problem.
Okay, so are they all due on the same day?
Yeah, they're all due on Friday.
Okay. So would it be reasonable if today's Monday, so do you think you'd be comfortable enough to maybe even just take a look at one of them today and start that up and see if you can get something worked on that?
I definitely need to. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get started on one of those and use those mindfulness exercises and see if I can work through it.
And once again, if it doesn't work, we can always try something new. But I think the most important thing is that you're willing to try, and you seem to think that it'll help. So
yeah, I'm gonna give it a try.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, and I'll see you next week.
Well,
Cheers. Is that 15 minutes?
so long enough.
How do you check?
Stop it.
Is that okay?